Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing good. So today I am going to show you how I made this beautiful dress. You see, it is very simple to make. So I'll be making a little variation on this dress
compared to the yellow dress on the thumbnail. So if you are only interested in the yellow dress,
I am going to show you how you can make it. It's just a little variation at the center front.
If this is your first time on this channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome as well. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not. And guys, if this is something that you like to see, let's get to it.
This is 2 meters of fabric, and I also have 1 meter of organza here, but I'm not going to finish using this. Looking at this, I have folded my fabric into 4. So in order to get what you're going to fold into 4, you should stretch your hands out, and then you measure from the back of your neck to where you want the sleeve to end. Whatever you get, multiplied by 4, okay? That will be the width of your fabric, and then you fold it into 4. For me, from the back of my neck to where the sleeve is, I want it to be about 15 inches, but considering the fabric that I have here, I have a width of 14.5, so I'm just going to make do with what I have. One other thing you should know is that you should also consider your hip. You should ensure that whatever it is that the width of your fabric is, you should be able to get your hips divided by 4 plus about 2 to 3 inches. So my own hip measurement is 40 divided by 4, that is 10, right? Plus 2 inches, that is 12. So I have 14.5 here, and I need 12 for my hips. So if your hips is wider than from the back of your neck to where you want the sleeve to end, so you're going to use your hip measurement plus about 5 inches to fold the fabric. So looking at this now, this is the shoulder line, the waistline, and then the hip line and the base line. And this is the folded part of my fabric. This is facing me. So what I'm going to do first is to measure my hip measurement. My hip measurement is 40 divided by 4, that is 10. 10 plus extra 1 inch, that is 11. But I want to mark the seam allowance at the same time as well. So I'm going to add 1 inch extra, all right? So that will be 12. So for my waistline, I am going to mark my waist measurement, that is 31. 31 divided by 4, that is 7.75 plus 2 inches. So 1 inch will be for the ease allowance and 1 inch will be for the seam allowance, okay? So I'm going to measure 7.75 plus 2, that is 9.75. So on the M line as well, I'm going to mark exactly what I have on the hip line, that is 12. And then I'm going to connect the lines. For the neck width, I'm going to use 4 inches. And then for the neck depth, I want it to be a V, all right? So I'm going to measure 6 inches down here. Make a mark, okay? So this will be my neck depth for the front. And then for the back, I am going to mark 1 inch. So I'm going to connect this neck width to this. This will be for the back. And this neck width to here, this will be for the front. So now let us go to the sleeve opening. From here, okay, I'm going to measure 1 inch downward, right? And then I'm going to connect from this 4-inch mark, which is the neck width, right? I'm going to connect it to this place. Now, in order to get the sleeve opening, what I'm going to do is to come up on a straight line, come up about 4 inches, make a mark. So you can just draw that into a straight line this way. So this is going to be our sleeve opening right now, okay? From here, this slanted line to here, that's the sleeve opening. But because we do not want the sleeve just to be kind of sharp, I'm going to come in here by 1 inch, and then I'm going to connect this slanted line to this mark. You see, I just drew a straight line now. So measure about 1 inch down, and then you curve it, okay, to meet here, just this way. So there are two things that I want to tell you here. You see this waistline, you see it's a little bit inward. If you want your waist to be free, if you don't want it to be curved like this, what you should do is that you should measure what you have at the hip line, measure the same thing here, and just come in by like 1 inch. 1 inch is enough, and then you curve it to the armhole. But if you want it to be a little bit fitted, just like what I want, then you should measure your waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for ease, and then 1 inch for the same allowance, okay? And then you curve it this way. Now to the front part. I'm going to use the neck depth of the back to cut it first. I'm going to cut half an inch away. That's going to be for the same allowance. Likewise here as well. You know I've already included my same allowance, okay? So I can cut what I have here exactly. Now I can remove the back. And then I'm going to work on the front pattern. So for the front pattern, about the variation I was talking about, if you want it to be open at the front, what you're going to do, come to the waistline here, mark about half an inch inward, and then you connect the neckline like this, straight down. Then you cut it open. All right, so when you cut it open, that means you'll be having 2 pieces for the front. I have a tutorial that explains something like this. I'm going to put the link up here just now, so you can just check out how I did the front. That is the same way that you're going to do this one. For this, I'm not cutting the front open. I'm just going to leave it this way. So what I'm going to do next is I'll cut ½ inch away. So here is what I have. This is my pattern. This is the front pattern, and this is the back pattern. So this is the right side of the front, and this is the right side of the back. So to sew it, you're going to place it like this, right side facing right side, and then you sew the shoulder line ½ an inch. Leave this part open, okay? Then sew here again ½ an inch, straight down. Straight down. If you want to add a pocket, you can add the pocket. At the other side as well, sew the shoulder line ½ an inch. Leave this place open. Sew here ½ an inch straight down. And then after doing that, you're going to hem the bottom. Fold it 2 times. And then I'm going to hem the neckline as well. I'll use the bias. I think I've fallen in love with this item now. It makes your work so neat. If you want me to do a tutorial on how to fix this, please let me know. So I'm going to use this bias tape to hem the neckline, the front, and the back. After doing that, you know, by that time I would have sewn this part and this part, okay? So I'm going to measure, you know, when I take ½ inch away from here for sewing, I take ½ inch away from here. What I'm going to have left is I'm going to have about 10 inches left. So 10 inches times 2, you know, for the front and for the back, that's 20 inches, right? So I am going to cut my organza because I'm going to be pleating it. I'm going to multiply the width of the sleeve at least by 2. Okay, let me measure what I have here. What I have here is about 60 inches. So I think 60 inches too is fine. Let me fold it into 4 so that it will be easy for me. What I'm doing invariably is the sleeve measurement, right, times 3, so that I can pleat it, so that the pleat can come out nicely. I want the width to be about 4 inches, so I'm going to cut out a width of 10 inches. I'm cutting out a width of 10 inches because I'm going to be folding the organza. I'll show you something just now. First, let me cut out 10 inches. So I cut out 10 inches because I'm going to fold this organza like this, and then I'm going to use ½ inch to sew it to the sleeve. All right, So looking at this, I have sewn the sides, the two sides, and then the shoulder as well. So this is the organza. You know, we cut 60 inches long the other time, and 60 inches is just the measurement that I have here. You measure it round times 3, right? So I cut 60 inches by 10 inches. So what I did was to fold the organza, right? And then I sewed it here. So what I'm going to do is to fold it into 2 like this. So if I measure from here to here, now I have 5 inches. I am going to attach this to the sleeve of the dress. So I'm going to turn the dress inside out. Now that I have turned it inside out, I am going to bring this, the organza, and then I'll attach it to it. What I want you to do is to mark 4 points on the organza. This is 1, right? This is 2. Fold it again into 2, and then you mark the point as well. So on the sleeve as well, I'm going to fold it into 2. This is point 1, point 2. So I'll fold it into 2 this way. Mark this point. Alright, so I have 4 points as well. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the sleeve inside the fold. Okay, you see this is a circle, like a circle. So I'm going to put the sleeve here. And then I'll start matching the points that I marked. So this point here will go with the point here. And then this next mark will be here. So what I'm doing is just to ensure that the fold, the pleat, is even. So that's the essence of doing this. I want the pleats to be even. I'll put this against this as well. And then this other side, I'll put this mark against here. So now that I've done this, you see this excess that we have, okay, I'm going to plait it within this space, all right? I'm going to do this all round. Okay guys, so looking at this, you see that I've pleated it. So by the time I sew it round, I'm going to sew it with an 1/2 inch seam allowance. Then I'll turn it this way. Alright, so the pleats would actually come out nice. So I'm going to do this to this other side, this other sleeve. Take your time when you're doing it so that it can come out nicely. And then I'm going to sew it round. Use a bias tape on the neck and hem the dress. Iron it well, and then I'll show you what it looks like.
So we have come to the end of this tutorial. If you really like it, if you found it useful, please drop your comments, like, share, and please subscribe to my channel. Okay guys, so till we see you again next time, take care of yourself. Bye.